Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter alongside Jim Hicks. We're based in Houston, Texas, but guess what? Me and Jimmy might be all over the world. But Jimmy, let me tell you something. It was the experiment worked. The Elam ending forever. I adore, I'm just giving you some tidbits. I adore Shaka Khan. She is a living legend. But Jimmy, I did not like her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner at all. Lord help her. Your homeboy Giannis didn't have a point in the fourth quarter. The NBA, the dunk contest, boy, the NBA vote, it was worse than the Iowa caucus. Jimmy, it's just so, and your boy, Jimmy, I know you love baseball, but Rob Manfred, man, he need to just shut up. Yeah, sometimes you need, I mean, we just had a great weekend. I just don't know. Give me some great stuff happening. I think in high school basketball. I saw some PGW stuff, Jimmy, this weekend. I mean, you know, we might talk about it a little bit. But other than that, I just don't, Jimmy, me personally, I don't know where to start. Where you want to start? I'm prepared for anything. What you got?
I mean, we just get dive right into it, and NBA talk is the talk of the weekend. That is the NBA All-Star festivities. The weekend start off with the dunk contest. I know everybody, and one of the things I'm gonna tell you right now, I was enjoying the dunk contest. And I really thought that somebody would have made the decision. I understand they only had one trophy made up, right? And somebody would have made a decision to say, you know what, grant both champions of the dunk contest. Let them both hoist the trophy up in the air, take an individual with both of them, and then let one of them know, you know, they flip a quarter or something, and let one of them know, hey, we'll mail the other one to you. We'll ship it to you. guess what? They're not going to ride on the plane with it anyway. They're gonna ship it back anyway when they leave. So that's what I really thought, and that would have been perfect. But then what happens is, you know, somebody got selfish and not understanding, you know, because you got caught up in the moment. You want to keep going. You keep going. That's more advertising for the sponsor and the presenter of the dunk competition. But there's no way a dude gets 550s in a row. 550s in a row. I'm not sure if that's ever been done before. And to still lose the dunk contest, not to saying that the other young man that Mr. Jones didn't deserve to win it, but certainly Aaron Gordon didn't deserve to lose it. See, that's just how it goes. And I don't reward. I'm not saying no runners up. They both based on the votes. And now this All-Star game
It came out.
What happens now is this young man claims he's never going to enter again.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's never going to enter again. And then already there were other people. This was one of the reasons why other guys who on a higher echelon of NBA players didn't want to touch it, because it's somewhat embarrassing, or somewhat you could be slighted and you're at the mercy of those guys, and you got to put a dunk in and you don't get it and you lose. And that takes a lot of energy.
But Jimmy, that goes through history. That has been happening. So, I mean, if you don't want to do it, you just don't do it. But you're going to be at the mercy of the judges no matter what. If you do competitions like that, you're going to be at the mercy of the judges. And out through him, Dominique Wilkins, they say he got robbed when Michael Jordan beat him back a long time ago. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't think, but you know what? Usually the dunk contest don't have us talking about it. But today, they got everybody talking about the dunk contest. And guess what? To me, it's a win when you got people talking about it. That's just to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're doing stuff like this, it's going to be subjective. You know, then they just didn't have things right. Did D Wade, was that guy's teammate a couple years ago? I mean, it wasn't, it could have been. It looked, but you know what? Good. The young guy won, but Aaron Gordon, spectacular dunks. I got a couple of them. If people didn't see them, let me know if you didn't see them. So I put those two. I got them in slow motion, both of their. That dunk he did from the side, and he 360'd and dunked it. I ain't never seen that one, Jimmy, off the backboard. That should have shut it down right then. And Jimmy, Dwight Howard, the guy you love to hate, he had a dunk that I think that people are just slighting. I mean, Jimmy, he had a dunk. I got to show this.
11 years. See, when he freezes out there, that's a full spread out 360. So
people at home aren't judging this, though. That is nice, though, in slow motion.
Come on.
In real time.
Because, first of all, how many people can do a 360 and spread out arms?
But everybody can't do that dunk, Jimmy. So, I mean, it's just, I tell you what, it kept us. The All-Star game had been, Jimmy, the All-Star game's rating had went down and down and down. Let me tell you something. Chris Paul, Adam Silver, and those guys got together and brought us a doozy this time. It just happened to be in one of the coldest cities in the world that a lot of people just couldn't brave. I'm still sick right now. I'm gonna be coughing like every time I take a break. So, but Jimmy, what else you got? What else you got?
Looking in the boom boom room, and Minnie Collins said D Wade wanted Miami to win. Scottie Pippen hated. And what's up with the Black Panthers? Black Panther, like he was kind of high or something.
What long was his hair?
His hair been kind of off the beaten path though. His hair has been.
That man looked like that man. That man have some mind altering pharmaceuticals at some point. Jimmy.
Black Panther looked like he was somewhere else.
Yeah, he was like. I mean, it was weird. But Jimmy, I like the star power. Oh, I love the star power around the court. I mean, that was the NBA gets that. They get that every time. And like I said, Chris Paul with the Elam ending suggesting because, and I don't know if people realize, Chris Paul had a team in that basketball tournament, Jimmy. I don't know if you remember. He had a CP3 team in that basketball tournament. Did you know that?
Which tournament?
You know, the basketball tournament. That's that tournament in the summer that the guys get $1 million.
Yeah.
Chris Paul had a team in that, and during the championship series, it might be every game, they have what you call, every game in the championship is called the Elam ending, where they figure out some professor named Dr. Elam, Jimmy. You have to go and look him up. He come up with a formula where they just tack on, they formulate the first 3 quarters, then they tack on a target score at the end. And the NBA did, they tacked on 24. Well, whoever had the highest score, they tacked on 24 to it because of Kobe Bryant, and you played it at target. I love that, Jimmy. That's the first time I've ever seen Jimmy, since 2014, since I just really enjoyed an All-Star game the way I did the other night. Yeah, but Kevin Freeman, stop talking, He's talking about the Black Panther looking.
He was looking something.
He's looking something, Chris. Yeah.
And one of the other things, speaking of the All-Star Weekend, they actually, it's a lot of people deserve applause from a lot of things that went well. They certainly saturated and gave screen time to a lot of the urban community.
Oh, yes.
Hell, if you know no better, you think white folks didn't live in Chicago. The way it was flavor all on every time you're looking at TNT or ESPN, they're waltzed out, or even the Fox network. They were waltzing out somebody from that has ties somewhat to the urban culture.
Yeah.
And I tip my lid to Jennifer Hudson. Yeah. She came out there.
Oh my goodness.
And she made people hush up.
Jimmy.
That wasn't the Star Spangled Banner.
Jimmy,
that was the national anthem.
You know what that rendition, you know who sung that song first, don't you?
Well, the first person that sung that song was a guy named Sam Lewis.
No, Donny Hathaway.
No.
Donny Hathaway made it famous.
It made it famous for us.
Yeah, for us. Yes.
Us.
Yes.
Yeah, but Sam Lewis and was the first guy that lyric. I think another guy that did the actual. You got somebody that write the song, another person sing the song, but the guy that sung it name was Sam Lewis. That was way back in the World War.
Yeah.
One days, right between World War I and World War II.
Jim, Donny Hathaway, that rendition is in my sound list. It's on my sound. What y'all call it, the sound list? On my sound list. I listen to him all the time.
Now I just looked up For All We Know is the name of the song we're talking about. That's the song that Jennifer Hudson, she just hit it out the park right prior to the All-Star game on Sunday. Remember, Jennifer Hudson is a Chicago native.
Yes.
Guys, so understand the connecting the dots, and that's, it
Common was amazing, Jimmy. Common was amazing to me.
Common did a lot of work. I was thinking last night, I say, man, Common booked this. He probably overbooked himself this weekend. Common was all over the place. He didn't have
Jimmy, and guess what he did, Jimmy? He got a lot of his people free tickets. Because when you do all of that stuff for the NBA, Jimmy, in your little envelope, in your room, Jimmy, they give you from whatever appearance you make, from what. So he took care of everybody, all his friends. But Jimmy, I love the way the NBA brought those young kids who were the charities that they were LeBron and Giannis was benefiting, how they brought the kids that benefited from those characters and didn't set them up, Jimmy, in the crow's nest. Jimmy, they sit them kids in prime time seating.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Those little small details were part of the organizing of this event and what made it grand, because it made They make the common person feel exceptional in the experience. And speaking of this song, how I just looked up and found some other artists. That song "For All We Know," the one that Jennifer Hudson sang, it's also been recorded by Nina Simone, right? Aretha Franklin, Billie Holiday, Dinah Washington, Doris
And all of
Day,
them, all of them,
Bette Midler, Nat King Cole.
Jimmy, all of them did it. But Donny Hathaway, when you hear, hey, y'all do me a favor, do some homework. Go listen to all of them and tell me what you come away with.
This one last night is going to go down as the best live tribute at a professional sporting event in the history of mankind as it stands right now. I'm going on the record to say this. You think about it. I didn't say national anthem. I said a tribute. That was a tributed song. So that's going to be. Can you guys think of a greater moment?
But usually we don't have tributes like this. So this had to be special.
So that means it's only a select few tributes that were done, and that's been a lot. But I said at a major professional sporting event. So it takes away from the Grammys and the BET Awards and all that stuff there. That's different category. This girl, what I liked about her is that she gave you so many and she went through that song and you can feel her belting it out, man. Shout out to Jennifer Hudson, man. And I mean, she was singing that thing. She was crooning. And I guys also what was some other moments from the All-Star game?
I just never seen this many 100 millionaires compete this hard in a game that didn't mean nothing, Jimmy. That what really got to me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all. I sit there and I sit there and I came to the conclusion this morning that like I said, I usually don't talk about All-Star games. We usually don't talk about it that much. But over the last 15 years, y'all, I've learned that if LeBron cares about something, the players cares about something. This is a star-driven league, and in the NFL, stars bail on their Pro Bowl. They play it before the Super Bowl, and many players aren't even available because they in the game. The best players are playing in the game. But LeBron decided this game mattered, and guess what? The game mattered. Let me tell y'all something. If LeBron care about something politically, the other players care. If LeBron say they need to own their own media platform, Stephon Curry and KD follow. LeBron says to the commissioner, we need to have fewer back-to-back games, and we'll have the fans. We'll get the fans a higher quality product. The commissioner listen. LeBron saying, I'm not into load managing. Outside of Kawhi Leonard, the players follow. Now I go back and look at Michael. Michael had remarkable influence among the fans. Be like Mike, advertisers, Gatorade, McDonald's, and the media. But y'all, I'm watching something. LeBron has a remarkable influence among the players. You had a bunch of guys with rings, $100 million, and they playing the fourth quarter like it's game 5 of a second-round playoffs series. That is influence, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the it's just unbelievable. It should be noticed that Jerry, LeBron has his critics, Jimmy. He's been to a lot of finals and he lost a lot. But it should be noted that Jerry West went to about 9 to 10, 11 finals, but until before he won, and he's the damn logo right now. So LeBron saying, I'm going to leave Friday and Saturday alone. You notice he didn't make a big fuss on Friday. He didn't even get there, Jimmy, till Saturday, right before his press conference. He got there on Saturday. He said, I don't even know what I got to do. I'm going to do this press conference and just go do what I got to do. But LeBron made the game matter last night. Yesterday, a star-driven league saw another example of a star in this league caring. They were taking charges, flopping, arguing with the refs, arguing with each other. I mean, it was crazy. I've never seen it like that. And for the last 30 years, I've been closely watching them. So I just never seen it like that. But I just wanted to share that with everybody. What else you got, Jim?
Well, then another thing out of this, like I said, is you think about all of the planning that went into place. Another thing, this year's All-Star break is a true, remember, many teams had 10 days off.
Yeah.
Everybody would have at least 6 days off. I'll say off mean from reporting back. So now the All-Star break, everybody has a chance to go home now and spend some time, quality time with their families or their parents or grandparents or whatnot, because you don't have to report back probably until maybe Tuesday. The games don't resume in the NBA until Thursday. And that's not every team. There's only about a half dozen games on Thursday. So, and especially for, you think of teams like Charlotte, for example, teams like Charlotte, they play in Chicago on Thursday. So
they got to leave and come back.
Well, if you have the option, you can leave and go. I'm just saying, a lot of guys duck in, duck. You know how that stuff is with All-Star Weekend. People want to spend time with their kids.
A lot of Charlotte players, Jimmy, I rest assured, they wasn't at the All-Star game. You're right. Yeah, they go. You're right. They on vacation.
This thing here, as for the game itself, a lot of the star players, matter of fact, I'm going to pull up the scores and just look and see. I like to see a lot of times minutes is what.
In the All-Star game, you want to look at minutes?
Yeah, because minutes matter at the All-Star game. Because a lot of times the guys that are older or the guys that don't want.
Trae Young didn't even play in the fourth quarter.
Understand, he's a first timer.
But he was a starter.
He's a first timer though. That's what I'm saying. Luka, Chris Paul bumped Luka out there. Guess why? Because Chris Paul, what, a 13-time All-Star? Something like that. So understand, it matters.
No, they was trying to win.
What that too? We're trying to win, obviously, and at the same time, dude was balling.
Oh, Chris Paul. Did you see Chris Paul's dunk?
I ain't seen him dunk. He got a dunk?
What?
I missed that.
Alley-oop from guess who? Russell. Russell threw him an alley-oop, and I can't believe, I didn't know y'all would want to see it. That's why I didn't bring it up. But keep talking. I'm trying to pull it up for you.
Yeah, you got to pull that one up. And guys, once again, for those who remember, that was an attempt to push a narrative out there that this dude was totally washed up. Don't get it. He's old. Old don't mean washed up. Old can be a prerequisite of washed up. You could be young and washed up. There's a lot of young guys out there that they thought was going to be NBA stars. They're not even G League stars right now. Washed up. Chris Paul, what he's able to do. And understand, you see how feisty he was during the closing moments, getting after the referees. I thought you were going to bump into the ref and get attacked.
Yeah, he goes, he does a little too much.
Greek Freak was defending. Kyle Lowry, who doesn't, but he was
Kyle Lowry don't even need to be in no more All-Star games, man.
Oh, yeah, but he got two charges.
Y'all can have him.
I like the fact when I mentioned Luka came through, hit back-to-back threes. Most of the guys did what was expected of them. Now the question is, which players you saw that really didn't move the needle for you? This was an All-Star game. Who, after looking at this game, who should have been left at home? Who should have been left at home?
I wouldn't say left at home. But I thought Jimmy could have done better.
Jimmy's energy level
Yeah,
wasn't there.
he
It was
was.
like
Yeah,
he
okay.
like he was still pissed because he felt he should have been a starter.
Yep.
Right? He's a 5-time All-Star, but he felt it almost, you can just read that oozing from his pores. Like, man, you know what? Like, you in your feelings because you weren't named a starter. I understand Kimber and Trae Young, you know, both are you know, they both of them are notch up under Jimmy Butler. I can say that right now. Jimmy Butler he's proven something in Miami, but still, so Jimmy Butler is one. He only played 13 minutes. And remind you, that might have been my choice. Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, he was heavy trash.
Bam Adebayo, remember, he had a 12-minute slot. That's about right for a first-timer. You know, he was productive. You know, got up 5 shots, hit 4 of them, had 8 points.
The lead. Chris Paul showing his hops.
Carried out of bounds.
And Chris Paul's going to need
he got his work in. He took 10 shots in 14 minutes. He was trying to get it out there. He had 7 points.
If you check the screen out, Jimmy, that's your boy going up and putting that thing down. But keep going.
Yeah, I see it. And also, guess what? What's the kid name from Indiana? Sabonis.
Oh, yeah, heavy trash. Yeah.
Sabonis didn't move the needle. He played 19 minutes, though. Didn't move the needle. Took 1 shot.
But, Jimmy,
6 rebounds.
Jimmy, I was thinking Rudy Gobert was just going up and down getting cardio for a little while until you had a dunk or two. Guys like that, Jimmy, the All-Star game ain't made for, man. You know, All-Stars is for stars. Boy, you got to be a wing or a guard, man. It's just it just ain't made for you. I mean, it just ain't nothing against those guys. It just ain't made for you, Doc.
Trae Young, 10 assists. Hell, half of them was to Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Guess what? I bet you. What's the boy Clint Capella over there saying? Yes. Hey man, hold up. You know what I didn't like? I don't know if you're gonna bring it up. I don't like Giannis. You know what I like? I watched about Giannis and I watched his team make up. He picked the foreign guys. Jimmy, what about next year? What about tweaking it next year where USA versus the world like they do in the other stuff? The All-Star game. The top world guys going against the top 12 USA guys. I'm just talking about a tweak. Since Giannis was trying to do that anyway.
That's how it used to be in like the rookie game, wasn't it? It was like that in the that's how the rookie game used to be. But I think right now, only thing they need to tweak, obviously, is the ending of the game. They will have to modify, and they will. Trust me, they're not stupid. They're going to modify the ending. Yes, they will. They don't need a movement from us. They don't need you to go. They're going to do that.
He said Rudy had 21 points, right?
He had 20. But he had double-double.
In the beginning, he was just running up and down the court. All he did is dunk. Yeah, and what you said. So them 20 points for them 10 dunks, yeah, if you call that, what did he do? Guess where he was? Corey Wendleton. What did he do in the fourth quarter? Nothing. He wasn't in the game. That's what I'm talking about. Now, what else you said, Jimmy?
But I mean, he wasn't in the
game. He wasn't in the game. That's why I said he got a lot of cardio.
I mean, he had a great game for Rudy Gobert. 21 and 11 is, I mean,
Jimmy, 10 dunks. Okay, 10 dunks. Okay.
I mean, hell, that's what he was in there.
Jimmy, they wasn't guarding people up under the rim, Jimmy. They was just letting you dunk in the first few quarters. They was just letting you do it.
I understand something. Still, a lot of dunks that he got was alley-oop.
Jimmy, those wasn't college baskets.
Oh man, Rudy.
Them wasn't NBA game baskets.
Rudy definitely has an A minus game based on expectations for him. Okay. He didn't get voted into the game for his offense, So he got voted in the game for his defense, and they got to reward it for his production on that end, which that's what he's known for. He's a rim protector. And of course, in the All-Star game, not much of that was needed. But those guys were competing. The reset of the quarter made it, and the guys weren't lollygagging around. And what I want you guys to pay attention, if you watched that All-Star game, and if you were pleased with the energy level, kind of shrink it down to the amateur side of things. That same energy for which you were definitely marveled by a lot of the moments in the game, that's kind of like what people want when they go watch any game that they pay their money to see. Or any game that has stars. You want to see the competitive juices flowing. That's primarily. And the thing about it was, most All-Star games, one team get up by 20, 25, and everybody just start. Then they start now. If that game would have remained out of hand on double-digit territory, it probably would have got goofy. But the LeBron came back, erased the deficit, and it was on. You could see it. You could feel the momentum just shifting. And I'm looking, and man, I mean, it's just hats. I mean, I'm marveled by them. And so now it's on. Next year is going to be off the chain again. You know why? Because there's 2 to 3 people that they better enjoy this one because they won't be back for sure.
And guess what? And there's 4 people that's healthy. There's 4 people is healthy as almost shoo-ins to be there next year. KD, Steph, Clay, and one more.
What you gonna say, Kyrie?
Kyrie, yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Kyrie just kept getting hurt.
Oh, I'm gonna say Dame Lillard. Remember that Dame?
But he was here this year, so he was there. He was technically there.
But Devin Booker took his side.
Yeah, but he was technically there. I'm talking about them 4 who didn't even show up on the trip. And Stephon was on vacation. Hey, man. Stephon, he be enjoying his little wife.
Oh, you got and another possible. Paul George is a possible.
Oh, yes. Injury, yes.
So that's a half dozen. That don't mean they understand. Now those guys, we saying it now. Of course, I would be marveled if Chris Paul made the game again next year.
No.
I would be totally marveled.
If them 4 dudes would have been there, he wouldn't have been there. Come on, man. Them folks, come on, man. I know you're singing his praises right now, but them 4 dudes there. Hey, Angie, you saw that pic? Yes. Hey, Angie don't miss nothing, boy. Angie don't miss nothing. Angie, hey.
Yeah.
They have fun in their household. I can see that now. That's Stephon Curry and that Aisha. They all right. I see why they got on them, baby. But now, what else you got, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, also, that was enough in the NBA ranks and that great thing, guys.
And Jimmy, let me give you a little history too on that quarter stuff. How they got where the quarter stuff come from. In the old, Herb should know this. I think Herb old enough. In the old CBA, the CBA before the D League and the G League. Okay, and that was the rule. They used to get points in the standings for winning quarters.
Yeah.
Okay. But, a lot of people didn't know that. So I like that quarter stuff. So they just went back and got that from that. But it was just a unique way that hats off to Adam Silver, man. Hats off to the leadership, Chris Paul, the leadership of the Players Association. And I mean, it was great. Giannis was serious. I mean, what else? I got notes to myself. And Jimmy, and then guess what? The threes were back down to normal. See, like I went back and looked a little bit, Jimmy, when the All-Star game got terrible is when everybody starts shooting them threes. In 1993, they had in 2013, they might have had about 80 to 93s combined in 2013. Then all of a sudden in 2014, it went up to 108. Then it went up to 120. Then it went up to about 130. And then yesterday, it got back down to about 110. They were just shooting. Stephon just he changed the game. And that's why I like him as a player, because he changed games. So that's all. I just wanted to share that with you. And then we didn't talk about your boy I think we did. We talked about him getting robbed. We talked about a little about Aaron Gordon getting robbed. So I guess that is it. I guess that's it for the All-Star game. Unless y'all have questions out there.
Well, I mean, the boom boom. Did
y'all hear that?
And in 1995, and they still.
I'm glad Lori mentioned that, Jimmy. Lori, thank you, Lori, for that information, because I had it. TJ Ford and the Players Association were in the Bahamas this weekend. Okay? So what they were doing is giving the younger players all expense paid trip, Jimmy, to come and hang out with the Players Association, and just talk about life and stuff. And Damon Dotson took advantage of that. Smart kid. He get points for that, Lori, in the Players Association. I haven't talked to nobody, but they get points for that. So somebody knew that, and I'm glad you told me that about it, because guess what? They're going to hear about it on the Chop Shop. Because, Jimmy, let me tell you something. A lot of players shun it. Man, I'm going to go be my family. I'm going to go this. But the smart players took advantage of it. And I was just, thank you, Lori. I'm so proud of Damon for taking advantage of that opportunity. That's called, hey, Lori, that's called playing the game within the game. Great job. You raised a great young man.
Indeed. And, of course, shifting over, guys, over the weekend, the Baylor Bears continue to roll in collegiate men's basketball. They won again, still remains at number one, the longest standing number one team of the 7 different teams who've been in that spot all season. And is it time to anoint Baylor as a national championship contender?
Oh, I do. Watch this. Go back. Wait a minute, sickle. They done gave me something new, Jim.
Well, Baylor, of course, is number one, 48 first place votes. Gonzaga remains in second, and Kansas stays in third. San Diego State improves to 26-0. They are the fourth. Ranked number 4 in the country. The Associated Press poll. Dayton is at 5. Duke, Maryland, Florida State, Penn State, and Kentucky round out the top 10. Number 11 is Louisville, followed by Villanova. Auburn is at 13. Oregon is at 14. Creighton at 15. And West Virginia drops to 17 behind Seton Hall. Colorado, Marquette, Iowa round out the top 20. Butler is at 21. The Cougars of University of Houston fall a couple of slots from 20 to 22 in
That's
the poll.
Not bad, Jimmy. That means they think a lot of them.
After losing to SMU in overtime on the road. SMU picked up a good win. I actually watched the second half, I watched probably midway through the closing moments, the regulation, and all of the overtime of that game. And I did not know, you cut it on, you don't realize that, once again, Quentin Grimes had 0 points. He finally hit a big three, and fouled out a couple of possessions later. And that was a game where I didn't realize he was scoreless because I didn't watch the beginning of it. And that's what I'm saying. You guys just pay attention. It's like this. It's like if they can get some consistency from him, the Cougars are still going to be okay. But they could just think of how much better they can be with certain players like him. That freshman, Sasser, he was off the
He was
chart.
going at your homeboy, Jimmy.
He was giving Kendrick Davis the business because Kendrick Davis was doing things early on. And I think KD may have been so focused on the Quentin Grimes. I got getting Quentin Grimes, but SMU was up by 15, 16 points, something like that, before the Cougars roared back. And this young Sasser kid had a career high, I think 26 or 27 points. He was cooking. And then meanwhile, even the commentators, I was listening to them, Quentin KD had got a little passive down in crunch time. It's like he didn't want to shoot it anymore. Those were shots that he would normally take. It was kind of like he got rattled a little bit. And he fouled the guy, gave him the 3 free throws that caused overtime. Mm-hmm. But once again, they got the win. SMU, huge win for them. And this American Conference it's stacked all the way up there. I think SMU is like 1 game out. You got Tulsa, because a lot of people lost this weekend. Memphis lost. Yeah. Tulsa lost. The Cougars lost.
Jimmy.
I mean, a lot of teams lost.
Jimmy, you got to. Hey, the Cougars gonna be good, man. Even in that loss, I saw how they was coming back and fighting back. Because they were, I know some people turned the game off earlier, talking about, man, the Cougars ain't playing worth nothing. I said, man, don't never count. Halftime, that man went in there, Kevin Sampson went in there and did his thing. And those guys respond, man. Jimmy, I got a chance to sneak over. Guess who I saw play this weekend for the first time? I saw Rice. One of my best friends in the world is assistant coach. He's the players development coach for Charlotte. Byron Dinkins. He used to play for the Rockets. A couple years for the Rockets. I met him back then, and we've been friends ever since. During the Sleepy Floyd and the Don Chaney era, he was a free agent. Young people out there, free agent, came in the free agent camp, made a team. Made a way of life for herself, went overseas, made a whole lot of money, coaching all the top guys in Charlotte. Jimmy, he coached Nate Hinton in high school. And the other kid we got from, there's a kid from North Carolina, Miles something, let me look, played for HBCU. A kid named Miles, hold up, I'm going to pull it up. Because he told me to look out for him. Miles, what's the kid name? I can't. It'll come to me soon. Miles Pierre for Houston Baptist. He coached both of them. I went over there to see him play. Guess what, Jimmy? Another Houston legend was actually calling the game. Daniel Ewing was calling the Rice games. He been calling the Rice games lately. I mean, unbelievable experience. Shout out to Rice. And guess what? Charlotte is one of the best teams in the league. And they just didn't have it that day. But I got a chance to go by there and check them out. The people really took care of me over there. Thank you so much.
And speaking of the league and being tight, this past weekend around Greater Houston, Prairie View and Texas Southern were both in action, and they picked up wins over Jackson State and Grambling, respectively. Actually, going into Saturday's games, Prairie View was 1, TSU was 2nd, Jackson State and Grambling was 3rd and 4th. So those were the top 4 teams going at each other, and you know how SWAC conference play is. Normally 2 teams would come to Houston and they would play on Saturday at Prairie View or TSU, then flop opponents on the Monday game. That's normally how they do. And it's like the 2-step. A lot of teams in the SWAC go and they play 2 nearby teams in same fashion. So that means tonight TSU will host Grambling. The G-men are in town. G-men is 7-5. Grambling, TSU is 8-3. Prairie View is holding it up at 9-2. We didn't give you guys last week. Speaking of Prairie View, it's been made official that former Lamar High School star Tamir Bynum has been suspended for the rest of the season from Prairie View.
Excuse me. Was he playing?
Well, he had been suspended.
No, did he play at all?
You mean did he actually play?
Yeah,
he played some games.
At Prairie View.
Yeah, he played some games this season.
And he got suspended. So how did he leave the other university? Because he was at another university first.
Yeah, he played 1 year at UTSA.
And what happened there? Did he get suspended there?
No.
Oh, he just left?
He
had problems there.
He had self-problems. He just thought he wanted to play more.
So
he wanted to play more as many freshmen and thought he can come and go and take his talents elsewhere, which he didn't get the bites that he wanted. So ended up Prairie View was the only thing sticking out there, an opportunity. And he filed a waiver and was granted the waiver by the NCAA, which permitted him the opportunity to play immediately. So that's now Tamir Bynum. Once again, I just tell people, you guys got to pay attention.
Pay attention to what? You keep saying pay attention to what?
It ain't a joke. About a lot of guys that, and bottom line, Quint at Prairie View, Tamir Bynum would not be the starter. Tamir Bynum was a reserve at Prairie View. And understand. So a lot of times people think, well, oh man, I can go play. And so
pay attention to that. Okay.
Pay attention to how talented some of these guys are, and they're not getting it. This when we look over, we see Slim McDaniel. It's over at not Slim, but Kyrie McDaniel is at SFA, right? And he's going to get a red shirt for this year. But Kyrie McDaniel took his team to the state tournament, galvanized the community, warmed everybody's heart, won the Guy V. Lewis, was a Guy V. Lewis recipient for 2019. And guess what? He couldn't move the needle. And that program, that don't mean he can't, and once you get in the doghouse and you realize for a lot of people, you be careful what you wish for, because he had a non-Division I opportunity to go in and be the man, to start, to play until you tire. But and guess what? There's nothing wrong with pursuing the opportunity of Division I. It's just that you have to realize that you're hardly ever going to be able to write your own script. That's the thing.
That's a good one. That's good one.
And so, just pay attention.
Hey, Jimmy, it don't matter who you are. The NCAA is no respecter of persons. You have to, Jimmy, I told you, I keep telling this thing, you have to understand that when you go into that university, you have to go in there knowing, hey, if you're not one of them top eight that Chris Walker so eloquently put on the back of his board behind his desk, saying, hey, man, if you're not one of those top eight, you're not going to play. And you just got to realize that. And think about this, Jimmy. What would your advice be? Well, ain't no advice, because people going to do what they want to do anyway. People going to do what
But there's some people that listens, and the thing is, a lot of people that listen is, and that's the whole thing. Everybody's not going to go and take every piece of word and every heed of advice. It's like going to and getting a Sunday sermon. Everybody, the pastor can get up there and sweat like a bowhog and be grooving with the message, but it's not going to resonate with everybody in the
not with everybody. Some people gonna get it and some people ain't gonna get it.
Some people not. That's why it's so important that it's not giving up on relaying intel and sharing understanding out there.
Right.
And a lot of people, and you have to realize, guys, there are a lot of people out there that don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. Because if you know, then you may need them less. It's a power trip. The more you know, the less you may need me. That's how some people think out there.
But and that's a great thing. I'd rather for people being, Coach Jimmy, it's always going to be people that don't know. like it's going to be always, it's going to be people that don't, a lot more people that don't know that does. So, like it's more bad. Like I be telling them guys, you know, everybody wants to star player. You know, you want to work out the star player. Dude, it's more people who can't play basketball. Go get with them guys. Them people, the best basketball players don't want to pay. And I don't blame them. I wish I would pay somebody to work my son out. What I could do it myself. I wish I would. I'm telling you, I used to try. I used to send him. Say, man, let's go over here. Let's work with so-and-so. Let's work with him. He said, man, your workout tougher than his, man. Hey, I ain't going over there no more. And then he found out I paid him. He said, man, don't pay them people no more. So, I mean, it's just, they just got the gym. And let me tell you something. I don't dismiss any young man's claim of want to play Division I basketball, Division I. But you said something. You always said it's a key, and I guess all of us said, because I say it too now, that the most valuable thing when you get on that college campus is MPG, minutes per game. That's why the first column on every Tuesday, when you do the freshman report, is MPGs. The first column. Mm-hmm. The points ain't in the first column. Because guess what? If mom and daddy gonna spend all that bread to go up there and see little Johnny, they want to see little Johnny more than the layup line. So, I mean, Jamie, I mean, the dream of playing Division I basketball, you might be one of that 5 that don't play. If you all right with it, just go get your degree and keep on going. If not, guess what? They got a transfer portal over there for you. That's real potent right now. Yeah, time and touches. That's what Ken Lau. That transfer portal is real thick. Jimmy, there's a lot of people still stuck in that transfer portal too now. See, we've been talking about the transfer portal. Jimmy, this season finna be over with soon. It's gonna be, I guess you can make some moves after the season. But that transfer portal is thick. So let's see what happens with it.
And indeed, and you know, that was a couple of coaches that was in town last week.
Okay.
And I have to explain. I'm talking to parents. You know, a lot of parents that send emails, or they'll call and ask for understanding, mm-hmm. and I could, because I invited you guys to do so. So, you know, I had kind of shied away from doing it, but now I welcome and embrace anybody. If you got questions about the recruiting and want to understand this, now what I don't do, I don't tell you who to go to play for. That's not what I do. So if you're trying to find out which team is better between Team A and Team B, that miss me. Now, you can send an email. You can send one to our Chop Shop mailbag. That's chopshophtx@gmail.com. chopshophtx@gmail.com. Or you can go to the RCS Sports site, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see a direct email box at the bottom of the homepage where you can reach me with your questions. Or just simply go to social media at RCS Sports, RCS, then Sports with an S at the end, and send me a DM. And I answer every single person who reaches out. I have answered to. Now, for some, it may take a day, or it may take 24 hours, but I reply to everybody. And that's the thing. Right now, people are gearing up for the grassroots season, the high school season, and I know in Texas, mm-hmm. the public school season, this is the last week for the public schools. The public schools, they will officially end. Technically, they end on Friday, but a lot of teams end on either Tuesday or Wednesday. And I know in Greater Houston area. I got a chance to watch some high school basketball this past weekend on Friday night, and I'll share that with you in just a second. But
hey, Jimmy, hold on, Jim. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Miss Breshawn Vasher, She said she emailed you and she didn't get a response.
You on which email box did you send it to, Ms. Vash?
Yeah. Yeah. No, Miss Vassar, just make sure you send it to the right email box.
Which email box you send it to?
Yeah.
I mean, they normally send. I normally get all of them.
Yeah,
And-
because I know you're
I
good
promise-
at that email.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I am. Let me tell you, last week, of course, I won't say no name.
Yeah.
I had a player who's ranked around he's ranked after between 50 and 75 in the area, not the state. Well, the dad reached out and said that he wanted to get some clarity on, because I tell you, if you want to know the truth from a lot of these college coaches, I can find out the truth for you if you want to know. A lot of people don't want to know the truth, meaning that if they're recruiting you, if they're tagging you along, if they're just being cordial, or if they're doing somebody a favor. And you really want to know what's going on, because a lot of times the Division I program, this coach is maybe being cool or cordial with you and or your son, because your son, you or your son may be a connector and have influence to the family of a kid whom they really, really want. So you may not know, they just going through the motion. I'm not saying that that's happening to you, but I'm telling you what could happen. But so a parent contacted me, and that was a Division I school in California, and he said that they expressed interest in his son. And I told him, I asked him, what do you mean? You want for a walk-on spot? Because I can check with them. I don't think they're recruiting your son for a scholarship. So I say, well, I'll call and check. Sure enough, I called with the staff, check with the staff, and they're not recruiting the young man. So sometimes I don't know, and I didn't bother to ask the parent, how did you misinterpret them being interested in your son? They haven't been to a game. The coach hadn't called you. They haven't set up you're a 12th grader. They hadn't set up any type of official visits. And so sometimes in your mind, remember that little kid in football last 2 weeks ago that was in Shreveport, Louisiana, who made up the conception that Ole Miss had offered him, and he went so far as to print up the letter of intent or rendition of a letter of intent and signed it. Mom went along with the play. This is what's going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff that's going on. All because people will go to those lengths to try to prove somebody wrong. I promise you, nobody cares outside of your day. Right now, get your stuff right. There could be a school and an opportunity that you could be passing up by looking at somebody else's yard. This is what I told somebody the other day. There's so many people that's so concerned with the schools and the recruitment of other kids. Right? This is the same. I give a good analogy about it. It's like you going home in your driveway and you looking 4 houses down, and then what they got in their driveway, you worried about their car. Get a tune up on your car and keep your car running right. You worry about what the next person drives. And it consumes people. It eats people up from the inside out as to, like, dang, man, my son scored 25 on this kid. How in the hell he getting offered by so-and-so? And everybody's story is different.
Everybody's story is different.
Bottom line, you got to play in front of a coach in most cases. And when that coach comes see you, it's just like going to American Idol. You could be the best singer in the entire choir. You could tear the Chitlin circuit up in singing, but you get to American Idol, you got one chance, you got one song to sing, you got 45 seconds to a minute to sing it, and if you don't belt it out, guess what? You're gone.
Jimmy, I got a unique story. I'm glad you said that, and I hope he don't mind me mentioning it. But I remember Daniel Utume when he was coming, out of West Side, and he was getting the best of Christian James a lot. Okay, when Westside played against, and he just didn't understand why Oklahoma. I mean, the kid want Christian and not him. He couldn't fathom it. You know, man. I'm the MVP. I'm beating him. I'm doing this. Him. But it just ain't your time yet. But then you go, Christian went and had a great 4-year career at Oklahoma. Daniel went and had a great 4-year career at Akron. But now he's out at USC, and he's an integral part in a Pac-12 on a Pac-12 team now. All eggs ain't Jimmy. All eggs don't have. He was blessed enough. He got hurt and had a red shirt year, and he had an extra grads year, and now he's getting the masters at USC. So he did end up at the same level of basketball as a Christian James. You follow me? It just didn't happen the way he wanted it to happen. So, parents, I've seen that one firsthand. And just some things just don't happen. I mean, it just don't happen like that. You know, it's this life. What Alan Branch said, life is a bunch of days.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know what the hell he mean by it, but it's a unique dynamic that this kid thought he was better than this kid, and guess what? Later on, he played on the same level as that kid did. So, hey, Jimmy, it's so many books. If you ever go to the downtown library, Jimmy, it's a million books down there. Everybody got their own book. Just write that book and hope it's a bestseller. How about that? What else you got there, player?
And of course, Martin Rogers informed us that Rashid Suleiman has won the championship in the league over in France, and that's a great thing. A lot of guys are doing good things across the pond, and and making good money over there that can support their families. And
D'Angelo Harris.
And shout out to Troy Bieniemy for providing a lot of questions that you guys can pose to the college recruiter. Those are some good questions he's posting in the Boom Boom Room. And I mean, guys, this is some good stuff. Y'all keep it up. Of course, Melvin Dew says Duncanville High School, number 1 ranked Duncanville, was knocked off this past Friday, upset by Richardson High School. Mm-hmm. And he says, what does Richardson have up north? And Richardson High School, indeed.
Yeah. You know anything about them?
Yeah, I mean, watched them play at the beginning of the season, how they played Hightower. They beat Hightower.
I was Richardson, at the
game. Richardson also, they lost to Sam Houston. Sam Houston beat them the day before. Remember, this Sam Houston. So if you saw
Sam
about
Houston, you talking about early in the year.
Yeah, but still,
but some teams get better.
No, Richardson is good. They've only lost like 3 games all year.
I don't remember them though, man. And I went to every game, I think. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, so and the team, understand something. My thing is, of course, the TABC released their rankings today, right? And they released their rankings. Duncanville lost, and they're still number 1 in the state. So Duncanville did not drop at all. That's the first time that I've seen that from the TABC since I've been following their rankings for almost 20 years, that a team lost and did not drop at all. So, I mean, Duncanville's lost 3 games on the season. Dickinson High School is number 2 in the state. They've lost 5 games. But you have to understand that 5 from Dickinson, at least 3 of those losses was before, well, hell, I think all of them was before the football season ended. Except one. They lost to Lancaster, and I think in Rick Nelson's event, they lost to Lancaster out of Dallas. They had played them twice this season. But this a lot of other teams lost it. It was either without Tremont Mark, without Marcus Williams. And same thing like for Martin Ranch. Martin Ranch has about 8 losses or so. A lot of those losses are without. Not many of those losses they have everybody in uniform, because Eddie has missed over roughly 2 months.
Caldwell has missed some.
Yeah, Adrian Caldwell has missed some time. L.J. Cryer has missed a game or 2 this year. Has he missed a game out? I think he missed 1, didn't he? Yeah, he's missed a game or 2 this year. So this thing right here, bottom line, what it does improves is that this high school state tournament, the playoffs, which was set to start 1 week from today, are going to be exciting. Now, what I've done for you guys, I have a special treat for you. I have posted on RCS Sports. You didn't know about this. Go to RCS Sports, look on the top bar, you'll see a new tab says playoffs.
Yeah.
You click that. I have personally uploaded blank brackets, and I filled some in with the teams that have already clinched a spot, their respective play seed from their district, from 6A, 5A, 4A. I have those brackets up there for you guys. And that's one of the things, and once again, for your pleasure. All I tell you to do, just pay attention. Guys want to trick you guys and make you think one thing about it. You go to that website that you're going to get informed.
Why you got 2 teams already in here already? Because they clinched. Okay.
So if you look in front, it'll say like W, that mean they won. R mean runners up. T mean third. F mean fourth. So that's if you see it in front of the.
I see more ranches in here. You understand me?
So it'll be W from that district.
So they the winners of that
district. That number behind it mean that's the district that they won.
I like that.
So you see, some teams already know their opponents. Like I think Bel Air is playing Jersey Village.
I saw that.
I think
Yes.
Elkins is playing somebody. I can't remember who Elkins is playing in 5A.
Elkins playing against Martin Ranch.
Martin Ranch, first round.
Get their head toe clean off the frame.
Who's going to lose?
Elkins going to get their head toe clean off the frame.
Alan, it's the reason why they call upsets upset.
Yeah. That was an upset. The Toronto Raptors was upset. Yeah, but I like that. Yeah, but I like that. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, and once again, go to RCS Sports. You can get I've got the playoff brackets uploaded, and as after Tuesday's games, a lot of those blanks because a lot of teams will solve their fate after Tuesday's games. There are some games around Houston today. HISD has 4. I have those listed on the front of RCSSports.com as well. And that's once again, guys, that's a lot of work to keep a website populated. Shout out to Doug Jones. He does a lot of stuff. He keeps a lot of stuff in there, but a lot of that stuff as well, I had to roll up my sleeves and type all that stuff as well. If it was that easy, trust me, a lot of people would have websites updated every day. You think about it, I tell you just to pay attention.
You've been doing that a long time, though.
Well, I'm just saying, everybody can't write. Everybody can't spell. Everybody can't take out the time to function and populate a website. Everybody don't want to do that because it ain't gonna make them no money. That's the whole thing. I keep telling you, pay attention.
Pay attention, y'all.
A lot of stuff on that website. A lot of intel. The district standings are there. I updated that yesterday. All the districts in the area, we have it color coded, different colors, let you know what place each team is in. Off the chain. So now we go to the boom boom room. So you guys got questions on there. There you go. Michael Jordan says free premium content on RCS Sports. I'm going after the show. Absolutely, it's free. It's free stuff on there. Now the VIP news, it takes a subscription of like $2.50 or something like that a month. Not a week, but a month. That's for VIP news. You don't have to go on the VIP news. You don't want it. It's some good stuff in there.
So how much? So a lot of this stuff. So this district standings is this Outside the VIP new?
Yes, that's the
What?
regular people.
Oh man. Hold on, I got another sound for you, Jimmy.
Yeah. And of course, Mike Jordan, any advertising, especially on RC Sports playoff season. Yes, if you have a small business or if you're in a position of management, go on the front, look at the bottom. We got advertising opportunities. We also have advertising opportunities on the Chop Shop. We said we're gonna wait till March before we blast off and remind you guys. But yes, you can get a head start if you want to advertise right where the starting five is on their screen. You guys can have that could be your ad. Your ad can be on there with the Chop Shop logo. It could be different things. Your phone number could be at the bottom with your business. This is opportunities for you to be able to take advantage of the Boom Boom Room. And we got other questions in there. Somebody asked me, did Martin Ranch play Elkins in the playoffs last year? Oh, I can't remember if Martin Ranch played Elkins last year. I really don't remember. I can go and check for you, Mindy. I don't remember. But I know Elkins from last year and Elkins from this year versus Martin Ranch from last year and Martin Ranch from this year. They're in two different directions. By the time the playoffs rolled around, a lot of people weren't really bullish on Martin Ranch a year ago because they had lost double-digit games, I think, by that time, and at the same time, Elkins had a little momentum because a lot of guys had so many underclassmen. Well, now Elkins has, he just lost again the other day. Elkins is a 4th seed in their district. They've clinched the 4th seed. So that's hopefully I answered your questions. And you got any more questions? Of course, Melvin do say the Silsbee, Hardin, Jefferson, that district. How about that? How about how that thing is winding up? Hampshire Fournette, right, beat Hardin Jefferson after Hardin Jefferson beat Silsbee. So now they're knotted back up to place. Silsbee has to play a game on Tuesday. And if they win, then they're tied up, right? So then they're going to play probably a tiebreaker game because you know why? The loser of that game will face Jack Yates in the second round.
What?
So you can make it sound like that neither one of those teams want to face Yates in the first week of the playoffs if you don't have to.
Oh, no.
And no, that's how I found out about 4A.
What?
In 4A, the team that win first place, there's no flipping in 4A in that classification no more. That's according to Greg Wise. He says all of the first place team automatically get home court advantage.
But what if you tie though? It don't happen. If you tie, you still got to do something.
No, if you're the first seed, somebody's going to be the winner of that district.
But you got to determine who's going to be the winner of the district.
The tiebreaker. I'm saying
after the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
so,
whoever
so that guy get the automatic. Okay, I got you.
Whoever goes into that bracket as the winner of that district in 4A, they get home court advantage according to Greg Wise. I did not know that.
Hey man,
thank you, Joffrey Day. He answered your question, Ms. Collins. Yes,
what Jefferson?
Martin Ranch and Elkins played last year. I'm reading some of.
Thank you, Jeffrey Day.
And of course, Harold Baker say Howard's getting pretty good at producing the show. Absolutely, man. And the thing about it is that everything you see him doing is self-taught. It's self-taught.
Yeah.
You go and watch some. Of course, nowadays you go watch a video or YouTube video or whatever and learn. You can do anything, but it's self-taught. Yeah. You didn't go to no class to get this stuff. No. So you get the stuff and download. I'm telling you, this software is 100%. Before we had to have Heaven or TJ or
Tyrone.
What's the guy's name at the radio station? And
Tyrone. Jordan. Let's call out all of them. Travis, Dodo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, guess what? Huh? Now we don't need but me and Jimmy.
I mean, it's realize how all you do is pay attention. Just pay attention.
Hey, hold up. Ashley said, can she get a bell for don't nobody want to play Yates in the State? I got something better for you. Herb, stop your ears up.
Boy,
Hey,
Make-
hey,
make sure, guys, share the show if you will. Make sure you share the show to your timelines and your friends real quick. If you hadn't done so already, we're asking you to share the show. And now, speaking of amateur basketball, also on the weekend, of course, guys, I was back on Cube 57 High School Sports Zone alongside Todd Freed, and we released the 10 finalists for the Guy V. Lewis Award. That was released this past weekend. So, who made the cut?
Oh yeah,
Was in alphabetical order by their first name. Bryce Griggs.
yes sir. Hold on. Stop. Hold on. Do that again. Hold on. I got to get all my boys. Hold on. Let's do that again. I was about to go do something and take a quick break, but guess what? So what's that first name you just hollered?
Bryce Griggs
Okay.
is the first. In alphabetical order by the first name.
What's the next name?
And Javier Francis from Westbury Christian. He was a junior, about 6'7". Next up is Jahari Long from Episcopal. He's a senior who signed with Seton Hall. Jordan Ivy Curry made the cut. He's a senior at Lamarck High School. It's located about 20 miles outside of Houston, downtown Houston. Justin Hill from Travis High School.
I haven't seen him play yet, but let me give him a applause. I haven't seen him play yet.
Justin Hill, he's a senior guard. He's leading that team in scoring in about 3 categories: scoring, leading them in assists, leading them in steals, and he's getting it in. And Travis is winning. And I think Travis was in first place. They are in first place in their respective district. So shout out to they're ahead of Ridge Point by game. Next up, L.J. Cryer from Martin Ranch High School, senior.
Oh yeah.
And in case you guys weren't aware, with L.J. Cryer, is that I want to say last week, he became, I think, the 7th leading scorer in the history of Texas high school basketball, right? And he's number 7, and that's with 3,343 points. He has over 1,000 points for this season. He's shooting 43% from three-point range. So whenever you hear, remember that was a year ago. That was a description, a tag that many people had placed on L.J. Cryer was he's going to shoot up all the balls. So I'm going to tell you something. If a dude is shooting 43% from three-point range,
40. I thought it was 47.
That's 43 after this game.
Okay.
After Friday's game. 43%, he could shoot every ball. I mean, understand, 64% from two-point land, 43 from three-point, 87 from the stripe. He's the number 7 leading scorer in all-time Texas history. And they still have
another game tomorrow.
They have another game in district, and then they have the playoffs. It depends on how far they go. He could move into the top 5. He can get to that number. So once again, L.J. Cryer is getting it done. And next up, we have on the list P.J. Haggerty, right? So P.J. Haggerty, he's over at Crosby High School. He's a sophomore, leading all sophomores in the area in scoring, and his team is in first place. See, one of the things that he can get my vote because winning.
Yeah.
I don't care who you haven't played against, but you beat most of the teams that you supposed to have, most of them. And we watched him early on back at the McDonald's Texas Invitational.
I remember you
over at
said,
Pasadena.
you
over at
said let's
Pasadena.
wait. You said, let's wait and see. Let's watch this because I might not have a chance to see him again. And we
Yeah.
sit there and watch.
I'm glad I did. Because he saw it on that sideline.
Yeah, he was cooking.
It started cooking. He went to cooking. And next up is Ramon Walker from Shadow
I
Creek.
like him.
Ramon Walker, understand, guys, he didn't meet expectations against Hightower
Yeah.
last
But
week.
he got a heck bottom of work.
But he damn sure met expectation the first time they played Hightower.
Yes, sir.
So you can't, if you're gonna chalk that up against Hightower, you got to put them both
Oh, yes.
because they won. Each team has won one. This guy has led this team. I understand, and Will Young is deserving.
Yeah.
But I get to Will Young and explain him to you in a second when I talk about. I'm gonna share something with you about Will Young.
Okay.
Next up, Reuben Jones from Yates.
Hold on. No, excuse me. Reuben Patrick Jones. I just want you to get his middle name right. But keep going.
You mean she named him boy Patrick for his middle name? And Reuben over at Yates, guys, and he's Yates has been grooving right along. He's been the glue, and I watch him. He's a silent leader of the team. And this team is number 1 ranked in the state. I understand they have talent, yes, but he's still, hell, so does Duncanville. Michael Peavy has talent along him, but guess what? Mikey Peavy is the leader. So this young man, the thing is that he's been pretty much getting it done and has improved. And a lot of things he's improved on. He's not as, and he's more poised, more patient within his offense. Probably sometimes too damn selfish. Probably. But that's not for me to judge. I'm not his coach.
He just know how to play.
When that shot is cooking, it's
when that shot is cooking, he just unstoppable.
He's the guy that if he hits a three-pointer, it has the Steph Curry effect on the Yates fans. Yeah. If he hits a three-pointer. Another kick in a three-pointer is not going to be the same. But if he hits a three-pointer, it has that Steph Curry Golden State fan type of effect. It's an extra, it's coming from the chest.
Give me more, Jimmy. I love the way you talk about Steph. Give me more.
No, man, it does. And last but not least, Tremont Mark is the number 10. University of Houston, and Tremont, guess what? He's been getting it in all year.
Killer.
28 points a game, like 6 rebounds a game. This Dickinson team is cooking right now. And remember, Beaumont United and Dickinson. Remember this now. They're the 2 favorites in Region 3 to go to state. These 2 teams met, remember, at the season opener. Remember, Dickinson played against Martin Ranch. Against Beaumont United. Martin Ranch was 2 years ago. Beaumont United has clinched their district. Dickinson has clinched their district. They are both on the opposite sides of the bracket. And it would be probably fitting if those 2 teams met in the championship. It would be a true. It's not no slight to nobody else, but it would be a great rematch. Those are the top 2 teams. And this kid Tremont, I watched him the other night. I went out to Clear Lake High School. Dickinson played Clear Lake, and that's Clear Lake is fighting for. They've made the playoffs, but they're trying to see if they're gonna come in 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Well, Tremont didn't even suit up. So I was looking, and I always watch different intangibles on the bench. This kid had turned himself into a coach in that game. He was talking to the kids when they come out the game. He was rooting for them on the court during the timeout. You know how you get the timeout, Hatter, when they call it a full, and the coaches go stand up by themselves and huddle up for a second, and the kids go sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Tremont was talking to the kids while they was sitting on the bench
It's called
for
leadership.
that 10 seconds while the coaches were trying to get it together, the meeting before the meeting, and little bitty things like that. And they were responding. That let me know that cohesively, Dickinson is almost there. They have some wrinkles to iron out, because I'm not going to say no names of no kids, but I saw some kids that were kind of moping a little bit.
Mhm.
One of the parents had her jammed up the head coach in the middle of the court after the game.
PGW.
I saw this after a big win. You just clinched district. And the parent tried to have court with the head coach on his way to the locker room. And I watched it, and I could not believe what I was seeing. And so that's why I say, so Dickinson, which sometimes, unless you're paying attention, you don't know.
Jimmy, it might not been nothing, because I checked on one of your things you said about what happened at a college game, and parents was talking to a coach after the game. I talked to the coaches about that, and they said them parents are golden. You know what I'm talking about. They said them parents don't interfere with nothing. He said it was just some stuff we had talked about, but those parents are golden. This might be a different situation, but that college situation you talked about, sometimes when you see it, because I just don't like to see it after a game. I'm funny, man. I mean, Jim, with my personality, I never, ever went to Coach Williams and said nothing. Jimmy, matter of fact, you know, like the kids had a banquet, the man gave me a plaque for the most supportive parent. I know them parents was mad about that. But I just never said nothing, because guess what? Dude, guess what I did? I'm going to tell y'all parents, I just told my son. He went and relayed everything that he needed to relay. Leave the coach alone. You got more effect. You remember what they said, that most valuable ride home, the valuable ride is that ride home. I just said, hey, man, this would be better. And guess what? Now, your son got to be good enough for the coach to listen to now. But that is no time to talk to a coach. But after a win, Jimmy, it's okay if it's not bad. But I just don't like to talk. I leave them coaches alone, man. As much as I want to talk to Coach Woods, that's that man's job. Because guess what? Every loss or every win he has, it's going to be on his record, not on mine. So parents, I just never talk to the coach. I leave him alone. Unless there's a problem with my son. If my son having problems, then you know what I'm going to tell the coach? I told this story before. I said, Coach, if there's a problem with him, give me a chance to solve it first before you go to your drastic measures. Parent, this is listen to this one. Tell him in the beginning of the season, Coach, if you're having any problem with this dude, give me a chance to solve it first. Then I can't solve it, then you do. Give me a chance to solve. Coach, respect that, man. I'm telling you. Because if anything happened, I remember something happened up in Cornell. I'll never forget, Coach, from practice, Jim Hicks. Coach said, call his daddy. Sister picked up the phone and called me right on the spot. I said 2 words. Coach said, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Telling you, mamas and daddies, it's a way. Jimmy, it's even a right way to do wrong. I'm gonna leave that there, man. What else you got on there?
I mean, it's and I'm laughing at Freight. He said I gave a 30-second signal instead of a full time. These guys don't miss nothing. Boom, 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 off the chain. But guys, understand, a lot of the championship team. At this point in time, you winning the games and you're not happy during a win. Just imagine what you're gonna be in a loss.
Jimmy, look at that comment. Look at that comment. That comment backs what you're saying. There's a lot of tea in that cup you're sipping about Dickinson. There's a lot going on that we don't know.
I could listen.
You can tell.
I could,
Okay.
and I knew. I wasn't telling you what I heard.
Right?
And this is what I
What's
do
up?
when I've seen teams play multiple times. First, I'm going to watch some of the players, and I'm always watching the players. Don't get it twisted, but I look for intangibles that can help me understand and help define some of the stuff that I could see on the court. So this time, I was sitting, I was paying attention to the bench. I was paying attention to detail as to what's being said, because this is supposed to be a championship team.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
So therefore,
I
I
got you.
got to be able to know how much I can rely on these guys
Yeah.
when I go to banging the drum.
Hey, y'all, hold up. Stop. Hold up, Jimmy. Let me put a pause right there. Hey, y'all. Hey, man. That man be actually. Hey, you know how people talk about Jimmy be hating on us. Jimmy be. Hey, y'all. Y'all got to be in them Papados and in the Gringos and all of that. When he be bragging about he wants somebody in Houston to win. He got bragging rights. So when y'all be talking about hey, y'all, it behooves Jimmy if a team, hold up, in all classifications, Jimmy would love for somebody in Houston to be represented in San Antonio. So Jimmy, I just wanted to throw that, just in case people didn't know, I've seen that and seen you arguing with people. No, you were sad as you were sad as you were sad last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. If I'm going to be I'm going to pump you up. Certain teams, Duncanville is the favorite. Let's get this straight. In 6A, Duncanville is, even though they lost to Richardson, yes, and the two sophomores, Carson Wallace, another kid. Great. However, Duncanville is the team to beat. And so then you have to look and say, who's from Region 3 has the best chance of beating that Duncanville team with Michael Peavy?
This team here?
You see?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
This is true.
I see.
See, Martin Ranch, I don't think it's deep enough.
Not deep enough. They talented enough, but not deep enough.
Not deep enough. I really don't believe that Martin Ranch is deep enough. L.J. Cryer would have to turn into Willie Warren.
Jimmy.
Remember Willie Warren? He would turn into Willie
Jimmy,
Warren.
let me just warn you. LJ got a little bit more in the tank now. I'm just telling you.
No. I'm just saying at the state tournament on that platform,
he got to turn into it.
That's what he would understand.
Okay.
A lot of guys get up to that state championship, that state tournament. Remember, for most people, now not for Duncanville, because they played in front of 12,000, 13,000.
Yeah.
Not many people have played in front of 12, 13,000 people.
I got you.
So when you get there, they
12,
have
13,000 people not cheering for you or against you either, because it's different teams in there.
not cheering for you against,
Right.
not necessarily because they have. And so,
Yeah.
so when you look at this, there's so many guys that have gotten to that stage that kind of just fizzled. Didn't have a good game. Carson Edwards didn't have a good game in the championship. Cal City got there. I don't mean he can't be a pro. He didn't have a good game.
I like that. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
back when Straight Jesuit went, Joey Brooks was leading the team in scoring.
Yeah.
They had a pro on that team, right?
Ooh, she?
No, Tim
Tim Frazier. Okay.
Frazier was on that team, a pro.
Right.
Joey Brooks, he's assistant coach at Nicholls State right now. He went 4 for 26.
That's right.
And they still was only down by 4 points late in the fourth quarter.
I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying.
It's a lot of guys
Yeah.
get to the stage, and somehow it gets the best of them. It consumes.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you just can't make a shot.
That goes with it. All that goes
Terrible
with
timing,
it.
Jim. Like the Rockets was what? 0 for 27 from 3.
So this the thing I look at what team or teams, first of all, who has the best chance to beat Duncanville from Region 3?
That's a good point.
And that's why I was hoping that it could be Dickinson,
Right.
because they're the only team that have two seniors, guards, who are signed with mid to high level basketball program. Marcus Williams going to Northern
He been
Colorado.
playing well.
Tremont Mark going to University. Marcus Williams scored 46 points the other day.
He was,
Actually, the official book has him with 48 points,
yeah,
10 rebounds, 9 assists.
cooking.
This young man, and understand the difference.
You was there, right?
I was there.
You didn't chart it.
I didn't chart the game. I got there right after the game started, and so but then I saw Tremont not playing. I said, I ain't gonna chart. I just want to. That's why I decided to study some of the other stuff. So when I'm not charting,
Right.
I'm studying other things.
Right.
This dude was cooking. He had 16 in the first quarter. First quarter, he had 16 points.
Okay.
Marcus Williams. However, it's something. I just put it like this: Dickinson High School. It might be good for one of the coaches to have a cookout or something this Sunday. Get a cookout. Maybe go to Top Golf. Maybe go bowling. Bowling might work. Get some stuff out of them. They got some stuff. I mean, and the players that you know aren't on the same page, team them up together. That way they can root. Somehow you got to find a quick shot at some team. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Trust me. They still
you
beat
felt
everybody.
a little spirit. There's a spirit out there that just some ain't right.
And what would happen is the coach, Jason Wilson.
I like him.
Jason Wilson. He's a great guy.
Great guy.
He don't curse.
Great
He
guy.
don't drink. He's a pastor.
Love
Because,
him.
he's a junior pastor.
Mhm.
So he's too good. Sometimes some of these kids, they don't really understand much unless you cussing them out. Believe it or not, it's true. Some kids, get over here. They won't come. Get your ass over here. They like that. That turn them on. So, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about.
That man said, turn him on. Oh.
So this guy and his little brother's assistant coach.
Okay.
Right? If I just don't want to see the last game if they're losing, because the next time that they lose past this week, their season is done. This team, we had saw this team coming from 2 years ago. When Tremont was in the 10th grade, when Tremont was in the 9th grade, because now remember that we saw this team coming. They're here now.
I remember Doug said in the beginning of the season, this team was going to be. See, I didn't know the guys. I didn't know all of the guys. Doug said this team going to be a killer. I'll never forget that.
So that's the thing regarding them. But I speak of Marcus Williams. So you might wonder, why didn't Marcus Williams make the 10 finalists? This kid just poured in 46 points, almost clipped a triple-double in a big game. Well,
40-point triple-double.
the rule that we put into place, because I'm on the selection committee for the Guy V. Lewis Award.
How many people on that committee? Can you say?
About five.
Okay.
About five. So the rule that we put in place is we don't want but one, when you get down to 10, only one per school. Because we don't want teammates to have to campaign, feel like they got to campaign against each other in order to get the award.
So that's why you said something about Will. You said something about you.
That's why at Shadow Creek, Ramon Walker, instead of William Young, he's a talented 11th grade as well, but only one per school. And the guy that's been the most consistent all year and filling up for across the board, is Mr. Walker. So that's why if you want to go west and say, why big Eddie Lampkin? Well, one per school. Because yes, Eddie Lampkin could have been on there because last year, Houston Christian Xavier Wheeler missed the same amount of time. Actually, he missed more games than Eddie Lampkin missed. Xavier did. Xavier made the final 10, but only one per school. That's our rule, and we don't want the student body to have to pick, because then that could lead to rifts in chemistry.
Okay.
At a time when a team needs.
Okay. I never thought about that. That's good. That's good.
You see,
That's
so
good.
that's the case. So you guys want to know that. Shout out to Aaron Fox out there. I know Aaron Fox, one of you,
I don't
might have
see
been down
Fox
in
on there.
Chicago. Might have been in Chicago. It's not there partying all weekend down this
Man,
past
Fox ain't
weekend.
going up there. My son ain't up there. I know he's saying, man, I'm not going up there.
No. Angel asked a good question. Is this the first year that the Guy V. Lewis Award has allowed underclassmen? It was very senior heavy early on.
That's a good question.
No, it's not the first. It's not the first year underclassmen. It's not. L.J. Cryer was on the list last year.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not the first year that. Now this may be the first year.
Two sophomores.
It's the first year, definitely two sophomores.
Yeah.
But
is there another sophomore that we could have put on there? That's making nobody making noise like these two.
No, I mean winning goes into the equation. Remember now, one sophomore is in there from being dynamic, and the other sophomore is in there because he may be leading all sophomores in the state.
Okay.
PJ Haggerty could be, I know in the area, but he could be leading all sophomores in the state in scoring. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not.
That's good.
So you reward that, and the team is winning.
Interesting.
And then this is we've had underclassmen who could have put on the list in the past, but
Herb seemed to say, this is the first year we had underclassmen good enough to make the list. Herb seemed to say that the first year. That's good. That's good.
And remember, this is only Houston. This is not Greater Houston. That's another thing I want to add to you guys about the Guy V. Lewis Award. It doesn't. They only the Houston, the gym.
Not the Greater Houston.
Not the great. Not Beaumont.
Okay.
So you want to
Gotcha.
Not none of those. Not Huntsville. Not. This is only the Greater Houston. I mean, only Houston.
Okay. I got you. I like
now they went down. They included Lamarck in this.
Okay.
They included Lamarck. I guess maybe I don't know the rule. They have a rule. Okay. I remember seeing in the email.
They probably got a map. They got
so many miles.
They probably got
so many
map.
miles.
Yeah.
They have a mile cutoff. It may be like a 30-mile cutoff, something like that. But that's the Guy V. Lewis Award. Shout out to everybody.
What else?
That and all these young men. I'm looking at some of the comments, and Cecil Dutton says Jackie Carr never cursed. Period. Matter of fact, he never hollered at any of us.
Wow.
Now I didn't saw Jackie Carr holler. I ain't saw him curse no player. I didn't saw him holler a little bit.
And Jimmy, I wanted to say we forgot about Kawhi. We didn't even say nothing about Kawhi being the MVP of the game. And we didn't talk about it, but he joins Michael Jordan as the only player to have a Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, and a Defensive Player of the Year award. Ain't nobody but those two players ever have those three awards. I meant to talk about that a little earlier.
Well, definitely. And Kawhi, he was balling, man, especially early on.
Oh my
early
God.
on, he kind of
set the tone.
And 8 for 12, 8 for 13 from 3-point land, something like that for Kawhi, 30 points. He had a couple of big baskets in that fourth quarter. The mid-range was cooking, went toward that right baseline, got up there and hit one of his patented jumpers. That was great all-star.
Hey, Jimmy, I saw something the other night that was weird too. The Chinese broadcast of the other night's All-Star game has a graphic of NBA players in the background. Let me tell you who the players are. They got Anthony Davis, LeBron. They have Luca. They have LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, uh, Embiid, and them. But Jimmy, everybody got their jersey. They did not put the Houston Rockets on James Harden's jersey. They got James Harden on the picture, but he the only one that the team, this Chinese broadcast, did not have his name on the jersey.
They still feeling some kind of way, huh?
Yeah, against Houston. Yeah, everybody everybody else's jersey is on there. Trae Young, everybody, Siakam. Siakam was kind of quiet too, Jimmy, in that game. I remember you was talking about who was quiet, who was in that game. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. Just watch what you said, Jimmy. Pay attention.
Yeah, and paying attention is over the weekend. Another thing wanted to dive into real quick. Well, amateur basketball. Shout out to Houston Christian High School. They advanced to their rendition of the state SPC tournament, and they lost to St. Mark's over the weekend. Noah Khan, from what I understand, had a super weekend up there. Had 36 in his first game. He's a junior guard. St. Mark's beat Episcopal in the semifinals.
Jimmy, was a little controversy
Christian
on Twitter after that game.
What?
There's a little controversy on Twitter after that game. Talking about a dunk and then a block. Y'all, Ashley, you was in it. You was on one of the threads. Ashley, explain to me what happened, cause I still don't know what happened. Cause I ain't had a chance to talk to Jimmy about it. I forgot to send you a text about it, Jimmy. But it was you know.
Well, it's St. Mark's was the favorite team from the get-go, and however, I just think that good season for those. I just wish that SPC would find a way to get them some more teams so they can so the tournament can be a little bit, more than 8 to 16 teams, 8 to 12 teams, 12 teams, I think something like that.
Is it a lot of teams?
It wasn't. I don't know how many. Somebody maybe watching may have had the bracket, but I just wish somehow they can reach out and strengthen that thing a little bit to make it. So that season is over with. In case you didn't know, guys, the SPC, they're done. It's still February.
So they can go practice with their AAU team.
Yeah.
So it's been a whole lot of they shouldn't. The season is here. They shouldn't be practicing. Oh yeah. So guess what? Them guys that can go to work out this weekend, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, okay. and that definitely will do. And shout out to those guys, those St. John's and Kincaid and Episcopal, Houston Christian.
Also, Kincaid was there also.
Yeah, Kincaid was there as well.
Did they have a chance? Did they win a game?
I'm not sure if I didn't look at the bracket. I was looking to the right side of it. Okay. I wasn't looking to the left and looking for consolation and all that stuff. But
I got something for you too, Jimmy. Let's talk. Can I talk about your university right quick? I saw something with TSU. The Texas Southern Department of Athletics projected to post the highest graduating success rate in the school history. Man, 81% projected. Jimmy, because I remember a few years ago, y'all was in a little trouble. Your school in their graduation rates. But they said, this article came out that so guess what? Shout out to TSU over there. They have gotten better. Because I remember they had certain scholarships they couldn't give or something, Jimmy, earlier. So they back, I guess, the graduation rate is higher. So shout out to TSU.
And shout out to TSU indeed. And I'm looking at some of the comments.
Let me read what Ashley said. She said a 6'7" kid dunked on DA, but the DA blocked his shot the next play. And the kid's dad said the son, okay. See that? PGWs. I can't say that all of that on the air, Angie. Okay, it was some PGW stuff. The guy said the man was all in the man's face. And okay, the dad. Okay, I got you. So y'all was just going back. Okay, because I didn't understand it. Because I have a hard time reading those threads, Angie, because I'm not as good. I called Jimmy. Jimmy, what the hell is this? But I didn't have a chance to ask him about that. It was some it was some PGW stuff. So Jimmy, what else you got?
Well, and got a question right in the boom boom room. As we're writing down, I'm looking and reading some of the comments, and
You see Otha Brown?
No, I'm looking at Michael Jordan asked a good question. Why won't more privates get into a public league like Straight does? Well, there's only 2 private schools that was admitted into the UIL: Dallas Jesuit and Straight Jesuit. And that's that year that Straight Jesuit was admitted. That was the first year. I mentioned Joey Brooks and Tim Frazier,
yes,
and Stevie Rogers and all those guys, Austin Conch and all those guys back then. That was the very first year that they was admitted into the UIL. And boy, people's asses were tight because this team had made it to the state tournament 1 year after being permitted to play in the UIL. And then also they put them in the highest, like attendance-wise, Straight Jesuit, whatever their attendance is, because to offset the zoning of where a lot of those kids live from various parts of the town, they put them in the district with Cinco Ranch and Katy and all that. And so which was kind of fun for some people, but it really wasn't fun because Straight Jesuit had pretty good basketball teams. I mean, I think that a lot of the private schools, that's either in TAPS, which is the largest one, and you have SPC. You have
TAPS is different from. Okay, so so why don't they combine all of them?
Well, as Angel just said, the SPC, that's like your bougie TAPS.
They don't want to play again. They want to have their own championship over here.
That's where the real money.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All of those schools, most of them schools have parking garages for the students in Houston.
Hey,
Most of them got parking garages for the students at your Episcopal and your Kincaid and a couple of St. John's or your own private parking lot, But anyway, some other comments. Somebody said, "What do you think about Bryce Griggs going to the Houston Hoops and leaving Team Hart?" That's from Mr. Brown.
Jimmy, that's your expertise, Jim.
Well, think about it. It was inevitable. All you had to do was pay attention. We told you guys pay attention and watch what the sneakers that certain players wear. Bryce been wearing Nikes in the games for a long time this season, and you think it don't mean nothing. He ain't going to the store buying them Nikes, all of them. He might go buy some pair, but he ain't buying them. You ain't buying the ones you're gonna get scuffed up. You gonna buy the ones you wear with your jeans and keep clean. You might buy them. You ain't buying none to go out there and play no hoop in. He not.
But what do you think about it? I mean, he said, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? I mean, what do you think about, and see, y'all, Jimmy, you taught me a long time ago, if you can, I'd never forget this, and man, you said, Robert, if you can get 1 year out of a kid in your program, man, consider yourself doing good. You know what I'm saying? If you can if somebody allow you to have their son for 1 year, see, I never think about it as leaving another a program to another, Jimmy. Me, I just thought they would I thought it was a level up. I thought I just thought it was a level up. A guy had a chance to play on a circuit and on a storied team, a team that's known around the country, the team that had the likes of De'Aaron Fox and all of these guys play on this team previously, and who else you just named, Jimmy? Carson Edwards, these guys, and so me, You know, Jimmy understand the politics and the stuff about this, but I just thought it was a no-brainer not to leave somebody, but just to go and do what's better for you. And see, always remember, y'all, in this summer basketball stuff, Jimmy, like you said, if you get 1 year out of a person, you done good. You follow me? So I just think it was great situation. It's a win-win for everybody. So what you think, Jim?
Well, I mean, is the one thing about it is he played on the Adidas circuit, even though for the last 2 summers, and a lot of kids out there they're paying attention. They're looking and seeing.
The underclass, the Adidas circuit.
Yeah, I mean, but he played Adidas the circuit,
Okay.
Not the main one, but you've been there and you saw that, and a lot of people are looking. A lot of people on Cray, they're looking and seeing, dang, the people that play the EYBL, and you see the marketing at the EYBL that the Nike is put behind that league and that grassroots sector. Think about it. The security guys from the EYBL or the EYB is landing career-changing jobs. You guys realize that? LeBron James hired one of the security guys that was one of those Samoans. He got a full-time job now. As a result of him working there. So, that don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing neither here or there. So, Bryce, a lot of kids want to go play and just test the waters over at the EYBL and see what a lot of kids do. R.J. Hampton did it last year. Remember?
Yeah.
R.J. Hampton
He
played
on a lot of teams. But Jimmy,
but he wanted to go and
yes.
And that's what I'm saying. So they had options, he and his dad and his parents.
Yeah,
they had options. They had a sneaker deal on the table.
Yeah.
And say, we good with that, man. Because in a minute, the bread we about to get, that's cool. And they played the long game. You could play the short game with this stuff, or you can play the long game. A lot of people don't have it inside of them to play the long game because they get consumed and let the system play them. Mm-hmm. Another kid who, when I say play the long game, when you see kids that go and take advantage of various levels, various angles of grassroots in an effort to create relationships from all sides. Meaning that Justice Winslow, when Justice Winslow came through, the team he played with as a youngster, as an underclassman, they played on the Adidas underclassman circuit. But then guess what he did? Justice Winslow, when he went to the hoops, played for the EYBL. He also went to Adidas Nations. And he also went to the Under Armour Elite 21 or whatever it was. He went and played all 3. Not many people. They feel like, because the job is to make you feel like you're part of the family. And the thing is, once you do it,
but you got to be good to do that, Jim. You got
to be good. You got to be good with it.
You got to
get the invite.
Yeah.
Like some kids that played with Adidas may have invites to play in the Jordan Brand Classic. Mm-hmm. I haven't looked at the roster. They just released it this past weekend. I know Michael Peavy was one of him and Cade Cunningham made the I know I saw Michael Peavy's name for the Jordan Brand Classic, which for the first time it would take place before the McDonald game.
Interesting.
March the 27th.
In Chicago, right?
In Chicago.
Okay.
It's always been afterwards. So now they moved to before, which is different territory now. And
so what is it a certain shoe company that the McDonald game is affiliated with?
The McDonald game used to be Reebok. Used to do the outfits and their stuff back in the days.
You know who does
and
it now?
I want to say Adidas.
Okay.
It's not Nike.
I know it's not Nike.
But Adidas and Reebok are the same, Adam. So, you know,
Okay.
Adidas and
Same
Reebok,
thing. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still under that umbrella. But don't get it twisted, with the recent passing of the head of the chair, right? Coach Wooten, right? Then he just passed away.
Yeah,
Remember
Marvin
last month?
Wood, yeah.
So there could be some changes on the horizon. His son is right there to assume things. I would assume he's going to get in there, but something is probably going to change next year about it because now the ideologies will be closer to to a younger mindset, to more of a, so I would not be surprised at some stuff.
Somehow.
But those kids, remember the McDonald game will be in Houston this year.
Mhm.
During April the 1st is the game. Those kids will come in town on that Saturday. That Saturday, the Sweet 16 of the NCAA will be taking place in Houston as well. Both will be played at the Toyota Center. The Sweet 16, meaning there will be 4 teams that will come to the South region, that we have advanced to Houston. And so those kids from the McDonald game this year, they will get an extra treat because they will actually be in the city while Sweet 16 is going on. So it's going to be and obviously the headquarters, if they're using the Toyota Center, that means those kids are probably going to stay at either the Hilton Americas or the Marriott or Marriott Marquis.
Mm-hmm.
I would think the Marriott Marquis, because of the fact that I've looked in the past and Marriott in the McDonald's game has used Marriott's
before
in most of the years that I remember. I've been to several of them. And so, you got a deal, you want to get them points. Don't get it twisted. Somebody who's getting all that little bit of stuff adds up, a lot of points. So, but my point is, those college teams are going to be staying somewhere down there as well. You see? One team may stay at the Galleria. One team may stay at the Westin. They may have one at the JW. They'll have one at the Hilton Americas. And they'll probably have another one.
How many teams? Oh, you talking about the NCAA?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because they at the Toyota Center also?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, some people going to stay in the Galleria. Yeah.
No, but they're going to put 2 of those teams over there. At least one.
Yeah.
At least one is going to stay at the Westin or the JW.
And some teams, according to who they are, some teams play at the Four Seasons. College teams.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah. That's high cotton right there. That's high cotton.
Indeed. Absolutely.
But yeah,
now,
Jimmy, we went in overtime. We good.
Now, Michael Jordan, how did Houston get so lucky to host the McDonald's game? You just put a bid in. That's all. You got to realize we have our sports. What do they call them? The sports, the visitors bureau and the sports department. Oliver Luck used to be the head of that back in the days. Oliver Luck used to run that. But a woman named Janice, they do a super job, man. Understand something, guys. Remember this: the biggest excuse that people could use for Houston was that when they came, you had everything was so far out.
Yeah.
That what Houston has done, downtown has steadily been being revitalized.
Jimmy's new hotels just popping up around that joint.
Yeah. And so what happens is then our Midtown has a new burst of life.
Yes.
Where people know what Midtown know and embrace it. Then the Galleria area is that's why you guys see they're doing all this construction now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Midtown's unbelievable.
Because we have, remember now, we have the NCAA championships will be here in 2023. In case you didn't know it. We got the Sweet 16 this year, but the NCAA championship is coming in 2023.
So we got the Final Four.
Yeah, we got the Final Four coming in a couple of years. So we getting this stuff, dude. But now, this year, if the Sweet 16's at the Toyota Center, we took that excuse away. It's easy to get the bid now. You don't even have to get on the rail no more. That's something to think about. I mean, I'm looking. The guys got a bunch of questions out there.
Yeah.
He said, "What's the max number of All-Star games a kid can play?" I remember Brittany Griner couldn't play McDonald's because of the number, right? Well, Melvin Dudes, it used to be two.
I thought it was 2.
It now is no limit.
Because it's not that many anymore. Like
There's no limit now.
Jimmy, I heard about the Baller brand trying to do a game. So people around here trying to get somebody to come play in the Baller game. The big Baller
They
game.
had last year. Had it?
I know. But last year they was a little more popular than they are now.
But guess who won MVP last year?
Xavier.
Xavier Wheeler was MVP of the Big Baller brand, co-MVP. They have 2 MVPs.
Forget about it.
And
when is the Final Four? Oh, y'all. Hey, man. Hey, let's get out of here. Hey,
Final
we got
Four,
to slide down. Go on, get them.
Final Four is the first weekend in April this year.
Right by April Fool's Day.
Well, April Fool's Day is the McDonald's game.
But it's usually the first weekend.
Yeah, it is that first weekend in Atlanta this year. But anyway, guys, I'm trying to get to a lot of your questions. And is the Chop Shop having a ticket giveaway? For which event? And I'm trying to make sure. And Angel says, anything stopping a kid from playing on multiple circuits if he has the options? I guess it would be financial ties or obligations. Well, nothing has. Some sneaker lines, Angel, have a stipulation on you must play in a minimum amount of their legs before you can advance and play in a championship if your team advance. So that's for some of them. But there will be kids that play on both, but it won't be by choice. It'll be by force. Meaning there's something that happened, you need to quit the team, you don't want to deal with them no more, and you jump sneaker lines. That's the most common one. That what you will see that happen, and it always happens somewhere. And then what happens is now the NCAA has stepped up, and they've limited the amount of games that the kid can play in a 1 day or a 2 day rolling period. So in other words, now you can't play but with one team in a live period. No kid who plays in a live period can play with more than one team.
Hey, man.
That's how they got it now.
Rob Wells just said, is any hotel giveaways for San Antonio?
You know what? Speaking of the state tournament, I have suites. I get a block of them every year. And I have suites. I only have about 5 left. They're $92 for each suite. It includes breakfast and dinner.
What hotel?
The Drury Suites at the airport, which is about right. I like that location because it's right there.
That's your little spot. I stayed out there one time.
It's right by the Papados.
Yeah.
You're right across the freeway from the Papados.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons I like it. And this year I may fly because I may have to fly to another city on that Sunday. And so, but I like that location. It's an Applebee's for whatever that's worth in the parking lot. But you get breakfast, buffet, you get free drinks at a happy hour there, and you get dinner. So budget-wise, if you're on a budget, and each room has 2 TVs separate, it's a suite. Not a bad property.
No, it's all right.
If you're thinking about going to the state tournament, then once again, you don't pay me. I can give you one of the confirmation numbers, and you go and basically I add you to my name is on the room. I add your name to the room.
I remember that little hotel. I remember that.
And then you put the room, end up putting the room on your card when you check in. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I remember that.
You would assume the room and add it to your card. Let me change it up. Because I've already got my card on the room. So I have the confirmation numbers. Just want to cut it up. So if you're interested in the room for the state tournament, that's March, anytime between March the 12th, I think, through the 15th, Thursday to the Sunday. You don't have to stay all 3 nights in order to get it. Just let me know. Send me a DM or an email, chopshop HTX.
So it's
at
March
email.
12th through 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be getting back on the 12th. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's make sure. I'm telling you, I only got 5 rooms left.
All right. Man, let's close that thing out. We'll
So
see y'all
anyway,
tomorrow.
guys, it's time to get up out of here, man, and slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing. It was a good run on this Monday. Gave you guys 10 more extra minutes. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you share the show to your timelines and your friends. Y'all been doing a great job at that.
Oh, yeah.
And we're still ironing out the kinks. I know some of you guys were expecting us to blast off on the YouTube
I got to figure that thing out,
simultaneously.
y'all.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get, Halle got to go and he got to get up under the hood.
Yeah, I got to get up under the hood on that joint.
Turn a couple votes. We're going to get that thing right.
Oh, I'm gonna
So just hold tight on that. Anyway, appreciate everything, man. You guys will see you guys on tomorrow. And meanwhile, peace. Chop shop.
Let me hit that button, man.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports.